said, well, I want it. She said, but Lester, it's a black dog. He said, I don't care. I want it. She was just about out of fit. But anyway, Daddy bought that dog and brought it back. I was tickled to death. I had my baby. You know, when we think about the things that we have been through and think about the things that people did, we have to know that we have a God, you know, that takes care of every need we have. I don't say wants. We didn't have all of our wants growing up. There was a lot of times at Christmas, all we got was fruit. A whole box of fruit, a whole box of oranges, a whole box of apples, a whole pile of bananas, grapefruit, coconuts. That was a lot of our Christmas, lots of some winters when we got Christmas. And we were proud of it. It was all good. We didn't cry because we didn't get toys. Because we knew that nobody really got toys in those days. Mostly food and clothes. And I want you, the family, to know that you got a lot to be thankful for. You had good grandparents. You had good parents. I don't know if anyone in our family has ever spent prison time. I'm not saying everybody was perfect, but I don't know that. And if there was, just don't tell me. But it's true. When you were born into a big family, you learn to give. You learn to share. And you learn to do without. And that's not a bad thing. Some of the things we learn to do without is stuff we don't need anymore. Mom and Daddy always gave us the essentials: food, clothes, and a good house, and the right kind of bringing up. That is to be proud of. That is to be honored. That is to be respected. And that is why I like to talk about it. I do. I've wrote books and books and books on family life. Not books, they're not published. Pages and pages of family life. What the family was doing. All of these things. And I wrote a poem about Grandpa Lloyd's house. He had a big house, my granddaddy. It was about 12 or 14 rooms in that house, but he had a big family. He had a sawmill, and he had to keep people. And that, I just loved that house. There was a coffee grinder on the wall that our grandmother ground coffee. Put the beans in there, and there was a block, and they let us get on that block and we grind. One time, each one, that was all. We never bothered that coffee grinder. But that was fascinating, y'all. To see that coffee being ground into perfect size. There was just a lot of things growing up about living like we were raised. We weren't raised near as hard as our parents were. Near as hard. What would we do if we had to move 70 or 80 miles in a wagon? We'd scream and holler and have a fit. Yes, we would. I probably would too. But you go to thinking about the things that we did. It was a lot of fun. Syrup pulling candy time. Brian King, Daddy would always save a little in the board. Mama could take it out and cool it, and we made syrup candy. And she'd pull that stuff, it would be white as cotton. And she'd take the scissors and cut it in blocks. There was a lot of things our mother did that we could enjoy. And that was one of them, that syrup candy. She could make anything out of it. If you give her a bowl of flour and a jug of milk and some lard, we didn't always have butter. And she could cook up some of the best stuff you ever eat. But she learned the hard way. She had to learn the hard way. And I just pray that we take these things that we learned from years ago, teach them to our kids. You kids have it great. You don't know how it was when our grandparents and their grandparents was raised. There was no electricity, no cars, none of this. No refrigerator to run jerk up and get something cold. No stove to turn on and cook. You got wood, you built a fire in the stove and you cooked. There's just so many things that we can be thankful for. And praise God that we had parents that knew how to take care of all of these things and make them work for their families would be better. And that's what we do today. We want our families to have the best. We want them to do the best. We try to send them to the best schools for them to learn. And that's what family life is all about, people. It's not how much I got, how much I made, how much I'm going to do this, how many trips I go on, how many cars I own in the yard. It's not about that. It's all about living and loving and appreciating and teaching our kids some of the things that was taught to us. Now, if anybody's got any questions, y'all gonna have to talk loud or come or ask Ben, get with Lane, whatever.